What's up, everybody? How are you all doing? I hope you had an amazing week. I did not. Allow me to explain. At the start of this week, Eric explained that there would be no further enhancement this week. We would just continue on with the same thing we'd been doing, which within WildFit is called Deep Spring. Deep Spring, as they explained, was the period in the year where there was only leafy greens available and lean meats and not much else, which mirrors, of course, what I've been doing for the last week or two. This all sounded fine. And at the start of this week, I was totally on board. I was full of energy, full of motivation, and I thought, just bring it on, another week of Deep Spring. Even if we go the rest of the program just doing Deep Spring, I got this. I got this. Yeah, turns out I don't got this. I think it was around Wednesday that I started to feel a sharp decline in energy. And of course, the more that went down, the more my mood also plummeted, and I got really frustrated easily and was really short with my colleagues from time to time. This continued on Thursday, and I barely made it through the workday on Friday. It was getting so bad, I just couldn't get my brain started up. I could barely get out of my chair. I stuck with it and I made it through. And then came Saturday. Now, often I have my weekend days pretty chill, and I don't plan a whole lot during the weekend. And thankfully, I didn't this time, because when I woke up, I knew it was the worst it had been that week. I could barely get myself from my bed to the couch, and I spent the rest of the day on that couch, not really being able to do much. And I have been tired before when, I don't know, skipping a night or whatever. This was so bad that when at the end of the day I had to go grocery shopping, I almost did not make it back to my house with my groceries because my body was just so sluggish and there was just no energy to make it move. Of course, on a day like that, I find myself with a commitment. And in this case, it was appropriately a check-in call from our coach of the WildFit program. I'd missed the previous check-in call and I really wanted to join this, but it took a lot. It took a lot to get myself there. I did it. I managed to show up behind my laptop and get some thoughts out of there. And it was good. It was just checking in with the rest of the group, seeing how everybody was doing. And most people most people were having a lot less issues with the transition, but our coach did explain and went into detail about how he had a similar experience as I did the first time around. So that helped. And just knowing afterwards that I had at least done that day made me feel somewhat better. Now, it might be good to explain that these symptoms, the tiredness, the sluggishness, the fact that my sinuses were acting up a little bit, are all normal. They don't have to happen during the program, and of course, rather not, but they can happen, and that's perfectly expected. Because having switched out all sugars and carbs, your body no longer has any sugar to burn after it's finished its reserves, and then has to switch to burning fat, which is a process called ketosis. Now, we want to make this switch, and there's so many benefits to being in ketosis from time to time, which I won't go into here, but the transition, especially if you haven't been in ketosis maybe decades, can be really difficult for your body. And even more annoying, the slightest thing could set your body back to burning sugar, which will set you back a bit. So where in earlier weeks a slip up could be educational, it still can be, but it will actually set you back this time. So adherence, really checking everything, not having any sugar or carbs in there is really important. Anyway, then came Sunday, and finally there was a positive change in that I woke up and I felt rested. And one of the things that really showed me I had a lot more energy that day was that my first thought was, I want to go skateboarding today. Now, comparing that to the previous day, not being able to walk from my bed to the couch, that is, of course, an insane difference. I ended up not skateboarding, but either way, I had so much more energy, so much more mental energy, mental clarity, and my body was just ready to do whatever. These are precisely the things that we're aiming for with this program, or at least that are my goal. Having enough energy throughout the day to do whatever I want to do. Having the mental clarity to do whatever I want to do. So that was a really good sign, and hopefully it will only improve during the coming days as I keep going through Deep Spring. Thank you guys so much for watching. Leave a like if you like this, and stick around if you want to follow me on the rest of my WildFit journey.